Hi everybody, welcome to a new video. It's been rainy and wonderful here in Central Portugal. I actually think it just started sprinkling now. I'm even contemplating putting the fire on, so I have some wood at the ready. In this video, we're going to take a little break from all the work my parents have been doing and go down into the water tank for the work that I've been doing at the same time. While my parents have been here working on all of their jobs, I've been working away down in the tank, cleaning it up, laying some bricks and doing a whole bunch of stuff. So we finally caught up to present day, or at least to 2023, and work has begun this year on the water tank. If you haven't seen any of the other water tank videos, you can flash back to last year in this playlist and get caught up to speed. This video doesn't dive straight into the work, so I've put a little chapter selector thing down at the bottom where you can skip ahead if you want to. The video starts out with a little tour of my trees, then it goes into some serious tank cleaning, and then we move on to the actual work towards the end. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll check in again at the end. I started this project a year ago, and now it's present day, and I'm ready to get started again. It's just coming into May, and it's the perfect time to do the work because I haven't planted a full garden yet, so my demand for water is pretty low. The temperatures, though they're hot for this time of year, aren't as hot as they're gonna get. And the water is still flowing from the Hole of Mystery at a pretty quick rate, so the tank, once I empty it, should fill back up again pretty quickly. So I filled all my 1,000-liter IBC tanks. I have 3 of those. And now I'm gonna empty the tank, I'll water all my trees, and then I'll probably empty the rest of it into my well on the bottom terrace. And then I'm gonna hop in there and get started. We'll start with some cleaning, some bricklaying, some pulling some plants out, and we'll go from there. There's still a lot to do, and I'm very excited to push forward on this project. There's a lot of stuff I don't know how to do, but hopefully I can learn along the way. So first things first, let's get the tank emptied. So as you see, I haven't yet cut the grass, but the strimmer has arrived, and my parents are here visiting now, and my dad is going to tackle putting that together for me. But the tap is right here. Let's get this tank emptied. So while I give my trees a drink, I figured I'd give a little tour as well. This is my apple tree, and he is not looking very happy. Oh, grass seed. It's got loads and loads of aphids all over it, and lots of ants crawling up and down. And I don't really know if it looks massively happy and excited, so hopefully a drink of water is gonna pep this guy up a bit, but for the moment, he seems like he's under attack. And then over here we have the almond tree, and he's looking very happy. A little crooked, but I do love a crooked tree. So last year I only got 2 almonds, and this year I already see 2, and many more on the go, hidden within as well. Yeah, there's another one there. We're up to 3, 4. So this is very cool. I'm really excited about having my own almonds. And the tree looks pretty happy. I don't really know much about pruning almond trees, so maybe I should look that up, but that's probably for the winter anyways. Okay, let's go on to another crooked tree. This is a neem tree, but it's not the neem tree that makes the oil. It's some other kind of neem tree you get in Portugal, and I don't really know enough about it to be able to actually tell you what it is. But I planted it because it's fast growing, and I want some shade over here, especially if I end up using this for parking. Okay, the 3 trees on this terrace have had a drink. Let's go down to the bottom terrace. It's a jungle in here. But somewhere in amongst all of this is a tap. There you are. So on this terrace, most of my trees are irrigated. The orange trees have enough water from, I think, the well leaking out. But I have a lime tree and a pear tree that aren't on my irrigation, so let's give those a drink. There's also some comfrey behind there. So if I can give all these trees a nice good soak for 20 minutes or so each, that means I can probably keep my tank empty for quite a while, even if it's sunny and warm out. So this lime tree looks pretty happy. It gave me 3 limes last year, and it looks like it has lots of little baby limes growing, but the tree up at the top grows the limes to that size and then they fall off. So I'll be curious to see if this one does the same. I didn't notice last year whether it had loads and loads of limes and only grew 3, or if it just had 3. So if all of these limes grow to full size, I will be very, very happy. And then over here, off on its own, we have another pear tree. This tree hasn't given me fruit before, but I can see signs of life on this one now. I don't really remember what kind of pear tree it is. All I know is that I only bought one pear tree and planted it over there. And then I learned that pear trees need a buddy in order to create fruit. So it looks like the 2 pear trees are working well together. And then I'm going to have some pears in a few months. Yeah, this pear tree looks really happy as well. So I'll leave the hose on that guy for about 20 minutes. And then I'll head back down and put it into the well. So this is a tangerine and or clementine tree that also isn't on the irrigation. So I thought I'd give this one a drink, even though this tree is a lot more established than my other ones. So looks like he's gonna be quenched. Let's go put the hose in the well. And I'll be really curious to see how much the tank has drained. The hose has been running probably for about an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. So let's get it in here and go check the level of the tank. I'll also be curious to see the level of the well once the tank drains, because there's definitely some very dodgy things in here. I haven't done anything with the well, no repairs have been made, and I know it needs a lot of attention. So after an hour and a half at least, probably more, of the hose running on the trees and into the well, it's still really full. So this is going to take a while to empty. But looks like I've got a lot of scrubbing to do. There's lots of green stuff. Hopefully I don't clog the pipes. Actually, that's a good point. I might make a little filter out of a piece of screen and some bricks when the water gets a little lower. But it should be fine for now. Famous last words. This thing's been draining for over 3 hours now, and it's still got a ways to go. But I feel like it might be easier to wade in there while there's still water and scrape the algae off the top rather than shoveling it out afterwards. So I'm going in, I've got my flip-flops on, and I'm just gonna do a bit of fishing for algae. Fun, fun. But it is a hot day, so I'm sure it'll be actually quite refreshing. It's cold, and it's kind of slimy, and it's pretty gross. Ah, it's very gross. This stuff, it's not actually that slimy. It feels kind of like, I don't even know what, like netting or something? Yeah, it's really weird. So definitely not as yucky as I was expecting, but I think I'll still put my gloves on to get rid of it all. And then I have a few rogue lemons in here as well. Be gone, rogue lemon. Be gone. Those are quite slimy. So let me put the gloves on and get to work in here. That's better? Oh, hello, little frog. Yeah, this stuff is crazy. Is this algae? Does anyone know? It feels like sheep's wool, actually. So cool. I don't know what that is. A little lizard of some kind? Sorry I'm draining your home. I hope you find somewhere new. You can go back here. You can hang out there. So I'm not 100% convinced this is that efficient. It has been very fun to get in here and become the swamp thing, but I have a feeling it's going to be easier to clean off when it's actually drained. So it was a great way to cool down on a hot day, but I'm going to get out of the tank, have some lunch, and hopefully by the time I finish, this thing has been drained. What happened to your pond? I know, what happened to all the water? You gonna get in there? I would say it's gonna be a little squishy for you. What are you looking for? You wanna go in? So no, it looks really different down here. It's on your eye. Don't wanna hang out with us up there? Even though we have toys for you? Okay, I understand. So the water tank has emptied, or at least mostly emptied. It's looking pretty green, but I have a feeling this stuff is gonna just scrape right off. And I feel like algae, if this is indeed algae, is good as fertilizer, so I'll do some more research on that. What do you think about that? Unknown. So tomorrow, I've got a lot of cleaning to do. I added a screen to stop too much of the green stuff going into the pipes and clogging it up. I wonder if it's stopping the water from moving. This is taking a very long time to empty out, and it's completely packed with this stuff, which is so spongy and crazy. So the good news is it actually comes off quite easily. The bad news is that there's tons of it. Anyway, I'll check on this again in a couple of hours. Is that comfortable? Mikey is monitoring the situation. Good morning, everybody, from another beautiful day. The flies are back, and so the macaroni is back on the door. It's gorgeous out here. Yesterday, I cleaned a little bit of the tank, but gave up because the stuff was just floating around all over the place, and it was really hard to catch. I've drained the tank out. It was taking so long. I was surprised how long it was taking. Let's see what it looks like now. Hopefully there's no block in the pipe. That looks like it's empty. Perfect. Here is my fuzzy green water tank. I don't know if it's weird, but I'm kind of looking forward to getting in there. It looks so strange. I'm curious to see how dirty the tank is beyond the sludge. Beneath the sludge, what lurks? Hopefully it's not too much scraping, and hopefully we can just kind of pick this fuzzy green stuff off the bottom of the tank and give it a little bit of a scrub, and the tank will clean up fairly nicely. I gave it a massive clean last year, and I'm hoping that this stuff doesn't accumulate and stick on and get horrible too quickly. My plan was to keep the water tank at the bottom empty for a while so I could also lay some bricks, but this water tank is totally empty, and this is what I use to water my garden, and I need it. So I'm gonna do some algae removal fairly quickly, and then I'm hoping to get the tank filling up by about noon today, so that by the end of the day I'll have water back up top, and I'll just have to lay the bricks a different time. So this has been drying out for a few days. So inside the tank, I don't know if having it dry will make it easier or harder to remove, but I think my tool for the job is going to be the rake. Okay, I'm going in. It's going to be cold and it's going to be gross. Oh, definitely cold. Definitely gross. Really cold. Ah, it's really cold. Whew. All right. Hopefully this is the right tool for the job. But first, this is the weird ball of algae I took out earlier, and it's so weird. I think I looked online to see whether you can use this stuff as fertilizer, and I think it needs more research, but I think I found that you can dry it out and use it as a fertilizer in some way. If anyone knows what to do with this weird spongy stuff, which apparently is filled with nutrients, I would love to hear suggestions. Found the plug. That's good. So since I don't have any water left in the tank over there, I'm gonna see if this hose will stretch to the cliff and see if I can use it in the tank, because I'd love to get some grime and dirt splashed out of there before I refill. This looks like it could work very nicely. And I'll get a bit more water pressure from that higher tank as well. Very nice. So I still need to be very conscious about the water because I have a limited amount up at the top as well. But if I can get just a bit more of the grime off of the sides, it'll make life a lot easier later on. And when I refill the tank, hopefully it'll be a lot cleaner and a lot nicer to use. The tank can definitely use a scrub with a wire brush, but I'm pretty impressed with how much I was able to get off just with the broom and the water hose. So it's come a long way. All the green stuff is out, and I'm gonna fill it back up and work on it again probably next weekend. So I'm gonna put the plug in, close the tap, and monitor how long this thing takes to fill up. If it fills up by tonight, that's perfect because I really do need the water in the top tank, but I'll be interested to see. I can pump even if it's only about a quarter full, so as soon as I can get enough water out of the tank, I'll start the pump. But for now, I'm done in the tank. I'll be back at it in about 3 or 4 days, and the next task will be laying some bricks. It's a gorgeous morning, but it's gonna be another hot one. I'm up early and very curious to see what level my water tank's at. Okay, it's getting there. I plugged this thing up at 1 p.m. yesterday. It's around 8 o'clock now the next day, however many hours that is. And amazingly, look at how clear the water is. It looks beautiful. Much better than before, hidden under a terrifying blanket of algae. So I'm gonna pump some water up to the tanks, and I might even empty this out again today and get back to work. I'm quite eager just to get this done. I'm back down in the water tank. It's been emptied for a second time this week. The first round, I managed to get rid of a whole bunch of algae and clean it up a bit. It wasn't actually kicked on as much as I thought it was, but I haven't really given the tank too much of a scrub. So there's parts that need a little bit of attention. And though I managed to get the algae out last time, the tank, as you can probably see, has filled with tiny flowers from the olive blossoms. So they'll need to go as well before I actually do any laying of the bricks. So that's kind of frustrating, but hopefully they just spray away with a squish of water. So on this round of tank emptying, I'm hoping to lay a bunch of bricks. I have bricks that are going to go in the front of the tank to raise the level so that the tank is an equal height the whole way around. I have some seat bricks that I want to lay in the splash pool, and then that should be enough work for the next couple of days. I mix the mortar up by hand, not ideal, but I find that the paddle drill that I have, I need a sloppier mix than I like in order to make sure it's mixed through. Obviously, a cement mixer would be perfect. I don't have one, and it's the kind of thing that I could probably borrow, but then you've also got to arrange a van, and it just becomes a hassle. So one day when I have a lot of mixing to do for doing pointing and a whole bunch of different jobs all at once, I'll probably try to get a hold of a cement mixer. Maybe it's something my friend Sinead and I will invest in and share. But for the moment, I'm doing it by hand, so the work is slow and quite methodical, but I do enjoy it. So I'm gonna start laying some bricks and let's see how far I get. I'm laying some bricks. This is a job I've been meaning to do for a very long time, so I'm quite excited to be finally doing it. I'm gonna just carry on with this, get it done before the concrete goes off, and I'll check in again when I'm ready to start working on the seats inside the splash pool. Though it feels like I've been doing this for ages, it's been all afternoon really. I've only laid about 5 bricks there, 1 brick over here, that little guy there, and I've laid 1 brick for my seat. It's mixing up the mortar that's definitely the bottleneck for this whole operation, but I actually do feel that the amount that I can mix is the amount that I can use before the cement starts to go off. So for a 1-person job, mixing it by hand, it's kind of like a weird meditation. I don't mind it. I actually kind of enjoy it, though it is very slow. Today I managed to lay a few bricks, but I also spent lots of time with the grinder. I chopped off the ends of some of the gray cinder blocks, and I had to cut some of the smaller bricks to size as well. I didn't show the grinder stuff because I was anxious to crack on with the work, but we'll be grinding some blocks at some point in the very near future. I have a whole bunch of blocks to do, so fear not, you will see me grinding blocks if that's your thing. So it's been a great day. I really am loving this job. It's such a nice space. I mean, just look at that down here. I think it's just so nice. Definitely a building site now, but I have a vision, and just being able to hang out under here under the lemon tree with the cool rock walls at the side, nice patio over there under by the staircase, cocktail in hand, just seems really perfect. Lovely view out here, but also kind of hidden away. So I think it's going to be a really, really awesome hangout spot. So that's it for today's work. I'll see you back here in the water tank for the next session, and I imagine I'll be cutting a whole lot of blocks and mixing a lot of mortar and laying a lot of blocks as well. So I'll see you then. Let's end the video there. I still have a bit more work to share that I've already done, but the rainy weather has actually put a stop to work on the water tank. So I'm at a bit of a standstill, which is slightly annoying, but I have switched focus to some other things. So I'm gonna end the video there and say goodbye from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, comments, or just wanna say hello, please leave me a message down below, and I'll see you in the next video.